Buenos dias. I am here with Anastasia Jackson. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Phenomenal. So let's jump right into this. Who are you?
So, my name is Anastasia Jackson, affectionately known as Cookie. That's my nickname, the nickname my grandmother gave me at birth. I am from Delaware, born and raised. On the playground is where I spent most of my days. But no, I'm from Delaware. I've been here my entire life. I have spent time in Kent County, Sussex, and Newcastle throughout my life. And that's why people are like, how do you know everybody? It's because I have family in every corner of Delaware, right? So it makes connecting with people really easy and natural and authentic because I know what it's like to live in Sussex because I've lived in Sussex.
Understood.
I know what it's like to live in Kent County because I live in Kent County. I never lived in Newcastle, but all of my family lives up in Newcastle on my grandfather's side. So I've spent plenty summers and weekends in Newcastle. So when people are like talking about different events or things that have taken place, I'm like, yep, I remember that when I was a kid. Yep, like from different areas. So that's pretty rewarding. And especially with Delaware being so small, unlike other big states where like their city is the size of Delaware, we're able to kind of navigate through rather easy, right?
Right.
But yeah.
You know what's so crazy? You said you've lived in Sussex, Kent, not in Newcastle, but I met you in Newcastle.
I know. We were on a panel together.
We were on a panel together.
Yes.
You know, and you were in your current position when I met you, right?
Yes.
That was my first time in that area and in that building. And I just felt like, you know, I spent so much time in Sussex County that when I went up there for a minute, I thought I was in New York City. Because what building was that? That was like a futuristic building, man.
That is the University of Delaware Star Campus FinTech building.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing, man.
Yes, and there's business owners that are in that space. The Small Business Development Center, who was hosting that event that we attended and were panelists for. And several events take place there, you know, pitch competitions. I'm actually going to be having a meeting there next month with Main Street America for our Main Street communities here in Delaware. So we use that space a lot.
Yeah, and I saw they had the funky cafe there,
yes,
you know,
the Grain.
right
Yes.
outside the conference room. It's just, you know, and then outside, it felt like one of those futuristic movies because the sidewalks were kind of empty. You see a car here, a car there, and then you walk into this big building. I'm like, man, I'm in Delaware. That's awesome, man.
It's a nice space, very nice space.
Question for you. I know that you have a degree in arts. Why the arts?
So I have my associate in arts, general studies, because I just took that first because I didn't really know where I wanted to go when I first got out of high school. And it just was easier. I'm just be honest with you. It was an easier pathway to start with. But I do enjoy the arts. And it wasn't until like 2019 when I realized how much arts I had inside of me, you know, when I was able to open up my own store where I handmade paper flowers and I incorporated arts and a lot of different things just started blooming. It was a paper flower shop.
And talking about blooming, right? So you've bloomed into the current position that you hold, which is what?
Kent County Regional Business Manager and Statewide Coordinator with the Delaware Division of Small Business.
Focusing on small businesses.
Yes.
Helping them bloom.
Yes.
And one of your main goals is helping small businesses seek resources and also grants. What are some of the grants available for small businesses?
So there are several different grant opportunities, both as from our state agency and outside partner agencies as well. But specifically with the Division of Small Business, the EDGE grant is one of the grant programs if your business is from 0 to 7 years old with 10 or fewer employees. That's our flagship program, and that's really been making a huge impact on a lot of business owners throughout the state, over 100 since its inception in 2019. So there's that, the EDGE grant, competitive, really fun. If you want to talk more about that, we can.
Yes, I want to dive into that.
And if you're an entrepreneur, you can get up to $50,000. So there are 5 recipients that win entrepreneur category and 5 for the STEM category. So any type of R&D projects for any type of science, technology, engineering, mathing type of concepts, then that's when you apply in that category for up to $100,000. It opens in the spring and in the fall of every year. And most recently, we had about 100 applications in both categories. Don't quote me on that number, give or take. But several great applications and proposals that came through. They're reviewed by our finance department internally. I don't have access to the reviewing process or any of that nature because I'm helping business owners on the other side with getting their applications submitted. So, yeah, it's just a great process. I've seen a lot of great success that's come out of that program. We've had some Sussex County businesses
That's what I was going to say.
that have received it. We would
I
definitely
know quite a few
love-
individuals that won the EDGE grant, and it's helped evolve their business to that next level, man.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping with this conversation and when it gets out there to these Sussex County business owners that may not know about it, or maybe like on the fence, like, should I apply? Shouldn't I apply? I'm encouraging you to reach out to our office, and yes, you should apply if you're thinking about it.
And now this is statewide, right?
Statewide.
So question for you, I'm a small business owner. What, from your point, what is a small business?
A small business is considered 500 employees or less. A very small business is considered 100 employees or less.
Understood.
Yeah.
So what are the requirements to apply for the EDGE grant?
So you need to have a state of Delaware business license. You need to have a presence here in the state of Delaware. Your business has to be 7 years or less. And you have to have 10 or fewer employees. And just, if you're uncertain if you meet those requirements, reach out to the office and we can kind of look through everything to make sure and assess and make sure that you do meet the requirements. But most importantly, we also want to kind of just meet with you and just see where your business is at. Because sometimes, believe it or not, you may not need a grant or a loan for your business. It may just be shifting your model of like how you're operating or how you're producing your product or whatever, or services. You may not need funding. So that's another conversation that I have with business owners as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do I need a brick and mortar? And when I mean a brick and mortar, I'm talking about as far as an actual location to apply for the grant.
So no, you don't have to have a actual location. However, if you're residential, you can't apply for the grant to like fit out space in your home.
Okay.
Yeah, it cannot be used for residential at all. But if you're residential right now and you're trying to grow outside of that and get a brick and mortar, then applying for the EDGE grant will definitely be a great opportunity for you. Now, you can't use it to purchase the real estate part of it, but you can use it for rent, for lease.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what could you pinpoint one success story
Oh gosh, that's a hard one.
or two?
Oh my goodness, there's so many.
I
There's
know.
so many that I can think of. Let's see, one that comes to mind right off the top of my head would be trash porters. Chris Boozer, I met him about 2 years ago in Wilmington, and he wanted to get a trash truck because he wanted to do valet trash services for people who lived in apartment complexes that lived like on the 3rd or 4th floor, because you have to lug that trash downstairs, whether you're a single mom, dad, elderly person. And he wanted to provide services. He saw a problem that needed to be solved, and he did it. He did apply for a grant outside of our office through another chamber, and he received it and was able to get a small truck. But most recently, it was just announced that he received the EDGE grant, so he's actually able to get a large dump truck. And he hires formerly incarcerated people, and he has about 6 employees right now, but he'll be able to hire more now that he has the truck. And just a great success story. And For Look Studio, she is someone who I've been working with for several years now, and she opened up a studio in downtown Smyrna, and she has she applied for the grant to get this machine that can look at your skin, so she can determine what types of products to use on your skin for facials. It's state of the art facials, right? I'm actually excited about going there once she gets it. Wow. and getting the services myself. But just to watch her growth and to see she was a Smyrna graduate, been in Smyrna all her life, born there, raised there, everything. And she went through pathways, and she's actually putting back in all of the things that she's learned from school into her business. And she's going to have interns come in. She already has a list of people that are going to be coming in. So 30 years from now, we're going to look back at her and say, oh, I remember when you started. Because that's, in anything in cosmetology or things of that nature, they start younger, in their 20s, right? And then they kind of soar out from there and just start developing and coaching other individuals on how to do it as well.
As heard you talk, you said something. There's opportunities everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
Because people sometimes say, yo, I would like to own my own business. And really what we need to be thinking about is what problems are around me that I can easily solve.
Yep.
And now here it is. There's a program where I can go sit with somebody
Yes.
and figure out how to execute on this problem solving that I've come up with.
Yes. And another thing you asked me, we were talking about the EDGE grant, but we also have a workforce training grant as well. So say trash porters, I'm going to use them for an example. Say there's like some type of new compacting machine that they need to purchase. I'm just making up something, right? And when they get it, they have to have a specialized training to be able to use that machine, their certificate. But they have to pay that corporation's trainer to come out. It's a reimbursable grant. He can apply for it. And if approved, like we pay a certain portion after we see proof that he paid for it. And then once all of the certifications are done and the training's complete, then we'll pay the remaining portion of it. So very underutilized program that we have, workforce training. Yes, if you know anybody, as long as they're W-2 employees, you're able to apply for that.
What are the requirements? Like you have to be a small business under that 100?
Small, under 500.
Under 500.
Yeah, under 500. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, so definitely trying to push information out about that. The Department of Labor had a summit last week at Bally's in Dover, and I was able to tell a lot of those employers that came out and let them know, like, hey, we have a workforce training grant, because a lot of it was HR people that were there, and I was like, they were like, we didn't know about it. So I'm glad that I have opportunity like this to reach everyone and let them know, hey, there are other opportunities out there as well for upskilling your employees.
What do you believe, based on the experience, that are the biggest challenges of small business owners seeking out or applying for this program? And when they do apply, what do you think are the biggest hurdles that we have to overcome to qualify?
For which one?
For let's do the EDGE grant, because that's the one that I've seen a lot of people applying for.
Yeah, so the hurdle would be, I would say, making sure that you have developed a business plan before you try to submit a proposal, because the business plan is going to help you really lay out like all of the things that you want for your business. And then you go back to your business plan and like, okay, let me look at my numbers and make sure they make sense. Let me look at my competitors and make sure that I've identified my competitors, and also utilize the tools, the free services that are available through the Small Business Development Center, SCORE Delaware. There's a launcher program, no costs for you. Like, you know, it's you can select which one you want to use. You can use all three. I've seen people use all of them. Utilizing those services to make sure that you have a strong, developed business plan. So then when you go and ask for money, Shark Tank, you know, you go and ask for money, you're able to answer those questions that you've identified in your business plan. You can reference back to that. And when you're applying for a proposal for a state grant, whether it's the EDGE grant or anything else, really truly thinking about what impact is this going to make? Am I creating jobs? You know, is there any community impact that's going to, is there any community impact from what I'm asking for? You know what I mean? Like trash porters, I'm going to use them again as an example, or Four Look Studio. She's helping the youth that are maybe in Polytech right now, and they're like, oh, I really don't want to go to college, but I really love cosmetology, and I really love, you know, doing lashes or hair or whatever. She's going to inspire those individuals. So that's a community impact. So yeah, that's what I look at. Yeah.
Man, this is mind blowing. So, for instance, really there's no barrier, because I can contact you. I have an idea. You guys will point me in the right directions to go get the business plan.
Yes.
Somebody to help me with the business plan, get myself up and running.
Yes.
Apply for a grant, and also help me along the way to stay on track.
Yes, I do like follow-ups every 2 to 3 weeks with business owners. So say you and I met at a business mixer. I'll schedule an appointment with you to meet, and it's about 30 minutes where you're just telling me all about Jose and what your goals are for your business. And then I'll send you a checklist of some resources. schedule another appointment with us to meet for 2 or 3 weeks. That can be a call, a text, it can be an email, it can be a virtual call, just to kind of see where things are. Because what I believe from being a former business owner, that accountability and that follow-up is like, oh, I know I got to check in with Anastasia. Like, I got to make sure I've checked all these things because I really want to see my business grow. And then having the advisor through one of those at no cost resource partners that I just mentioned, you have them, you have me, and we just kind of like staying with you throughout the course of your journey through your business. Another thing that I didn't mention is the Office of Supplier Diversity, who's also through our office, where if you're a minority business owner, women-owned business owner, veteran-owned business, you can become certified. And there's also a small business focused certification that is gender and race neutral. So it's just certification to show that, I'm compliant with the state, like I'm doing all the things that I need to do to become a certified state of Delaware business. And also, if there's like any vendor opportunities throughout the state for procurement, that certification helps as well.
So bottom line is anyone with an idea or a desire, at a minimum, can reach out, no cost, sit down and have a conversation about their dreams.
Yes.
And even me right now, looking back, I'm going on 13 years doing this. I'm like, man, now, right? When I first started, I just ran. But I got scraped up hard along the way. And looking back, I'm like, if I would have taken advantage of or known about programs like this and slowed down a little bit, I would have been so much further and saved a lot of energy along the way. So the recommendation is if you are already thriving in your head, right? Because sometimes before we jump, we're already thriving for a couple years with the ideas and I want to do this, but we just don't know how to start. And sometimes you get to that point when you blow and you run out and you start running and you feel that you are doing great, but you are really hitting a lot of bumps. This would really help. And especially I understand now having the importance of having a business plan.
Yes.
The importance of having a coach.
Yeah. And even a business plan, like I've seen people's faces drop when I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. What's the name of your business? Do you have a business plan? Well, and then it's like, the answer is always like, well, I kind of, it's in my head.
So you don't.
I was like, so the answer is no. Here's the deal. It doesn't have to be this novel or well thought out thing. There are lean business model templates from SCORE on their website. Love, love, love them. When I have conversations with business owners, I'm like, let's pull it up. I'll screen share and look at it. And that's where you can start. It's literally like, Charlotte's Web, like that little web you did in school. It reminds you of that. That's your start. And then you take each section and you're like, okay, I'll take the need category, or I'll take the competitor analysis, or I'll take my market analysis section, or even just do a SWOT analysis. Take it piece by piece and take your time, because you want to make sure your business is in order. You don't want to just be all willy-nilly, Yeah.
And let's give SCORE, a shout out. Like, talk to us about SCORE. What is SCORE for those that don't know?
So SCORE is the Service Corps of Retired Executives. I'm glad I got that right. They are volunteers. They are executives from different branches of different agencies. So it could be from finance, like people that worked in investments, real estate, things of that nature, or bankers, teachers, people that were business owners for several years, maybe retired. They come in as volunteers, they get certified, and they help business owners. But SCORE has amazing templates. And they also have webinars. So they have business plan templates, pitch deck templates online, financial projection templates, that lean business model that I was telling you about. They call it Lean Business Model Canvas. Phenomenal. Love it. Like, if you don't have time to meet with a business advisor, just go download all those templates and start working through those as well. It's so super helpful.
Talk to me about the Delaware Main Street program.
That is my favorite part of my job. I mean, I have a lot of favorite parts of my job, right? So the Delaware on Main Street program is throughout the state. There are different pockets of communities. You go downtown, and you have that main road, and there's like the barber shops, the bakeries, the hair salons, the candy shops, ice cream parlors. And there's an individual that could be working tirelessly day in and day out to make sure that there's support for the residents on those main streets, for the business owners on the main streets, for the community events that are happening. And there's 4 pillars that we have to make sure we're following. That's organization, design, promotions, and economic vitality. So there's different committees that are set up within that Main Street program to make sure that everything's being implemented. So there's some metrics that we follow and making sure that the board is set up and things of that nature. Now, not all of the Main Street communities in Delaware are considered affiliate or accredited. Some are in network because, quite frankly, they may not have the capacity to have one individual that can like solely do all Main Street stuff. They may be through a city. So like Seaford, Trisha Newcomer, shout out to Trisha. You know, she's covering the Main Street portion for Seaford. Now, once she gets the capacity to be able to have an individual that can do all Main Street stuff, and then they can be paid or however they want to structure it and get a board, then we'll come to that. But right now, Trisha's that face, and she's been super helpful to me.
Awesome lady.
Yeah, she's taught me so many things. Once I, took on this role, and we go to the Main Street conferences together. It's just a lot of fun and very knowledgeable, and a lot of things we can bring back. There's different grant opportunities that come about where the Main Street communities can apply for. The T-Mobile grant through Main Street America, downtown Smyrna, they were awarded that. There are several different grant opportunities that are out there. I just can't think of them all at once. But right now we have 14 active communities. Again, 14 falling in that accredited affiliate or just in network, which is still awesome because we went from not really having a lot of activity going on to like from COVID, to now having more people involved and really excited about the different initiatives that are happening for Main Street. And next month, we actually have Main Street America coming out to visit for our end of the year quarterly meeting. And we're going to just talk about all the great things happening here in Delaware and really just join together and even talk about some struggles and figure out different ways that we can work together and just try to find different programming to help support them, because that's the main thing. So when you go to your Main Street, whether it's downtown Rehoboth Beach Main Street, Milton Main Street, they're starting to kick things up a notch. Make sure you go and just say thank you. Thank you for all that you're doing. When these community events are happening, downtown Milford, there's a Main Street group that's helping. Downtown Milford Incorporated, they have volunteers. It's a lot. It's a lot involved. But I do have some numbers that are going to be posted soon in our annual report, and you'll be able to see how many volunteer hours. I know it's over 25,000 hours.
No way. In question for you,
crazy.
I mentioned the program and you lit up.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So I was introduced to Main Street when I had a business downtown Milford. I had the opportunity of serving on the board for downtown Milford, and it was during COVID until like the end of COVID, and it wasn't like the ideal time for people, but I really truly feel like there was more like unity and like people were really intentional about joining together and like making sure there was support, So I was a business owner on the Main Street, got to serve on the board and really see how important it was for people to have that support. Business owners, again, residential, different community initiatives, and even the school districts. They come out for the farmers market and the FFA. My daughter's in FFA. She was in FFA, and just seeing how intentional they are about making sure all of that comes together. And when I had the opportunity from my current role, when I heard that, we need someone to cover the statewide coordinator program, I was like, yes, I will do it. And then I just learned even more than what I thought I knew as a business owner and serving on the board for that short period of time, and really being able to make sure that those Main Street local leaders here in Delaware have the support that they need and are also educated about not only the Main Street stuff, Main Street America, but also understanding about the state resources that are available for small business owners on their main streets as well. So I've been having different people from the state of Delaware come in and give different speech. So the Delaware Division of Arts, a lot of them didn't know that there were grant programs available through the Division of Arts. So now they know, and they're able to, apply for grants for that. So it's just been definitely very rewarding to see that it's working.
Understood.
Yeah.
I know that for the Division of Small Businesses, one of their number one goals is to make Delaware number one for small businesses. What are some of the steps being taken to achieve that?
So things like this, doing podcast interviews to make people aware that the division exists. Our division is still like a baby. It's been in existence, I believe, for 6 years. So before it was Delaware Economic Development Office, and then it changed to the Division of Small Business, and we have a public-private partnership with Delaware Prosperity Partnership, so they take on the larger businesses. So really just getting the information out there about the division, that we exist. We're here to help your business. You can come in, again, if it's not for a loan or a grant, just to have the conversation and know like where you get your business license and how to get connected with your local representatives, or how to get connected with your local economic development person when you're looking for certain things, if it's land, if it's a building, things of that nature. You're not in it by yourself. And also, I'm your liaison. So if you have a restaurant and you're struggling with, being compliant with food inspections, it's not when that inspector comes out, that's the only time you have a conversation with them. There's an educational period in between there where they could come out and kind of coach you and talk to you about things, the do's and the don'ts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm here to help people understand that as well. That's our job.
You see, and that's really what I'm hearing from you, because once again, what I want to drive home is that no matter what you're thinking about, from nail technician, barber, give you a call. I was going to say,
Yes.
give us a call. Give
us
you
a
a call. Give
Yeah.
you a call to really start strategizing and keep your dream alive, because we all have that dream, right?
Yeah.
That everybody that I know, at some shape or form, wants to serve.
Yes.
Right? Having a small business is serving your local community.
Yes.
So reach out, take the first step, and have a conversation with Miss Jackson.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's that simple.
Yes.
It's
Contact
that
her.
simple.
Yes.
Going back to the ESH grant, I've seen individuals apply for the ESH grant to buy a van.
Yes.
For their businesses,
Yes.
To enhance their services, or to be an extension of their business, to be able to go out into communities. I've seen that be very successful. Every time I see the vans all over the place, I feel excited. I've seen other people using to purchase laptops to continue to provide services. So in Sussex County, when is the next round?
The next round starts February 1st. But we don't start February 1st.
Understood.
This is the time to start right now. Our website, business.delaware.gov. When you go on that website, you can find out all the information you need, how to get in contact with regional business managers, all of our different incentive programs, the Office of Supplier Diversity, the Delaware on Main Street program. But most importantly, when you go to the website, scroll all the way to the bottom, key in your email address so that way you can get the weekly newsletter on Wednesdays at 8:00 via email, and it'll provide you with different information about resource fairs, other opportunities, again, grants or loans from our office or our resource partners, and different educational opportunities. How to start a business webinars through the Small Business Development Center. They're offered in English and in Spanish. So you're able to go to that, sign up for that. A lot of different things. Oh my gosh, it's so much to unpack. I just don't know where to begin. But yeah, so do that. Also, you can follow us on social media. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at Delaware Division of Small Business. So stay up to date about what's happening. Small Business Spotlight. If you go on our website, you can apply for
I've
that.
seen that. I like that.
We do a compliance check, just making sure that everything's legit. If you happen to fail the compliance check, don't panic. That's where us business managers, we come in and we help you navigate those waters and make sure that you are compliant.
Say that again.
We'll help you navigate those waters and make sure that you are compliant.
And you see, those are the biggest things that sometimes scare us from taking that next step. Right? Because we can all benefit from a spotlight.
Yes.
But then we start picking our own business apart and don't even make the call. So really what I want to drive home is make the call.
Yes.
Have a conversation to make sure that you weather the stormy waters and come out through the other side with the help. What's really exciting to me is that there's so many resources available. That's why you're screaming, saying like, we are here.
Yes.
You can apply for grants to enhance your business and continue to serve your community.
Yes, and it can be overwhelming because there are a lot of resources.
Yes.
And another thing, don't Google anything, please. Don't Google anything. His stuff comes up and then you end up paying all this stuff that you don't have to. And if it doesn't end in .gov, it ain't real. So again, like you just said, call us and we'll help you with that. The other thing that I wanted to mention, we have the State Small Business Credit Initiative, and it is designed to help those small businesses that aren't able to get traditional lending. So in those categories of, remember I talked about minority business owners,
Yes.
women business owners, veteran business owners, or even those business owners that are like 1 to 2 years in, and maybe they'll go to their personal bank and they're like, I don't know. Well, the Small Business Credit Initiative, with that program, with our current lenders that are CDFIs, they're definitely more open to looking at what your current situation is. I'm not the lender, so I can't make the approval decision or not. But what I will also do is help make sure that you have that business plan ready and all of those compliance things we talked about. So like making sure that you are familiar with the Division of Revenue, making sure you know the Department of State. We are the division under the Department of State of Small Business, but there's a Division of Corporations as well, where you get your LLC, register your business. Department of Labor, making sure you have a conversation and start to cultivate a relationship with them as well. Because it's not all about, I got fired or I'm quitting, I got to go get unemployment insurance. There's a lot of opportunities at Department of Labor as well. So me also making sure you're connected with them. Who else? There's so many. I just can't say them all at once, but just making sure you are aware of what is available here in the state of Delaware for you and your small business.
You just gave us $1 million worth of information.
Yes.
Right there. Yes. Right? Because basically what you were saying is, hey, if you're a small business owner, come talk to me.
Yes.
Let me help you get started. Right? Once we do your business plan, we'll continue having conversation. Then I'm going to introduce you to lenders who are already accustomed of dealing with individuals in your category. Instead of you starting your own business, running out and walking into a bank. And then when you are told no or not now, you walk out and the dream is over. So once again, giving you a call. And now it sounds easy, but it's not easy, right? You everything in life, you got to put the work in,
yes.
Right? But there's already a roadmap. And what you do is follow the roadmap. And you have individuals along the way to help you guide.
Yes. I'm here. Call me. Yes.
And I guess, it's easy for me to say now, right? Looking back a decade, I'm like, man, I wish I would have done that. But when I was at that point, you just want to go and you don't got the time and I got to make this happen now. And if you just take the time and slow down and have some conversations, because this has been around in one shape or another, it's been around.
Yes.
There's people within the state that are willing, they want to see you thrive. Once again, if you're a small business owner, how can they get a hold of you?
So remember to go and follow us on social media, Delaware Division of Small Business on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Also, don't forget to join our weekly newsletters so you can stay up to date with current resource opportunities that are available for your small business and educational opportunities. And when you go on the website, you'll see where your regional business manager is. We currently do not have a Sussex County business manager. However, when you send me an email, I'll make sure that it's filtered through and you will receive the assistance that you need.
And thank you. My biggest takeaway from everything you talked about is it does not end with if it doesn't end with .gov, it's not real when it comes to researching.
Yeah. So one thing I've noticed when I set up as like the vendor for the division at different events, people will come like, I got my business license, I got my LLC, I went on this Delaware.com website. I'm like, that is not us. That's not us. That's not our website. So I don't know where your money went. And it's sad. Like, it really breaks my heart when I see that. So business.delaware.gov, call us, come into the office, email something before you spend any money, before you go and get that LLC. If you don't have a business plan, do not go and spend $300 on an LLC right away.
Oh.
It's kind of working backwards a little bit. And that's okay if you've already done that. Let's get the business plan done. Again, that can be that lean business model. We just got to get it on paper so that way you can really put your thoughts and ideas on paper and really maximize what you want to do with your business and helping with leveraging it. SizeUpDelaware.com is a website that we have. It's a free marketing analytic tool. So it's going to help you see who your competitors are throughout the state and really help you use your advertising dollars better. So that's a really great tool to use for the business plan as well.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.